Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Dungeon Talk with Trent. My name is Trent of trenttokens.com, and I'm a very big fan of the game called True Dungeon, and an avid collector of tokens, which you can see almost a wall full over here. Actually, you should see like that wall over there. That wall is full of tokens. It's insane. So yes, welcome to this episode. It's a super special episode. I'll be interviewing Alec, the admin of Fans of GenCon Facebook group, which has over, I'm stumbling over my words because of how many people are in this group. It has over 35,000 members. I'm one of them, and it is one of the most amazing Facebook groups ever. It's so helpful around Gen Con time and also throughout the whole year. So it's an amazing group. If you've never heard of it, go to Facebook and search for Fans of Gen Con. It's awesome. So this is a very special episode. Besides interviewing Alec and learning all about him, Alec and I are going to be giving away 6 free True Dungeon tickets for Gen Con, and you're going to be able to play with me and Alec. Now, this drawing is only for new players. We're going to talk about it a little more, but I just want to kind of set the tone there. For anyone who's never played True Dungeon before, we have a drawing for you. You can play True Dungeon at Gen Con with me and Alec. We'll tell you more in a few minutes. And other housekeeping, oh yeah, do that liking and subscribing. It's very helpful for the show. And yeah, it helps me spread the love of True Dungeon. But enough about me and my face. Everybody, please welcome Alec.
Thank you.
Oh, man, look at that audience. Oh, they love you. Look at all that clapping. Have you ever received so much clapping in your life?
Never.
That's amazing. My Lord. Hey, Alec, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so now for anybody who's, smarter than a thumbtack, you may have noticed that I've just been saying Alec this whole time because he has clearly a unique last name. Now, he told me the last time we chatted how to pronounce his name. It is not how I've been saying it in my head. So what I'd like everyone to do right now, in your head, how do you say his last name? Go ahead. I'll give you some time.
I've heard it all.
Okay, so how you heard it. Now, Alec, please tell us how to correctly pronounce your last name.
My name is Usticke. Usticke. That's it, not Usticke.
Yeah. Did anybody guess that right? Without cheating, did you? If you knew before, it doesn't count. Did anybody in chat know that before? If you did, please please tell us. We're not going to believe you.
I got a question for you, Trent. So
ask
this
away.
is what I usually ask people when they ask how to pronounce my name. What do you think the derivation of Usticke is? What nationality or?
I would have probably guessed Polish. Would be my guess.
That's common. Eastern European, usually the guess. Believe it or not, it's English.
English.
Yeah.
Hilariously, I've got something to show the folks in a few minutes, and we'll get very specific about the derivation of the name. But before we do that, I'm going to do something for the first time because Alec asked, and the other guests, if they asked, I probably told them no, and I probably just didn't know how to do it yet. But I'm going to try to show chat live. So this is chat live for the first time on the show. Normally I say, I turn to my left, and I think I'm still going to do that because it's probably a little easier for me to read on a bigger monitor. But I'm going to say hello, everybody, to chat. But now Alec can see who I'm saying hello to.
Yeah. Aiden, I owe you that $5 I promised you. I'm gonna hook you up, I see.
Yeah, Aiden, get that money. All right, so Ashton, hello. Wilty05, hello. Hoity-toity, LOL, come on. All right, you win with the best name ever. Hello, welcome to the show. Mongo, what's up, Beatty? Bach Aiden, I guess you somebody owes you money. Dragon Gears Hazar, excellent.
Dragon Gears is our favorite art.
Oh, our favorite.
How do you say his last name?
No, I'm saving it. Time out. okay, so that's Art. Wait, you're going to be highlighted in the show, Art. I just want you to know you're a highlight for me and of the show. So we'll get to you in a second. So Art, thank you for joining. Steve Harris, what up? And Alex says, Bach Aiden says, rather, Alec, a man who does so much Gen Con communication on so many media platforms. Am I right, people?
That's why I owe him $5 for saying that.
Oh, I see. He said something nice. I only offer $1, so clearly.
I'm way overpaying.
Yeah, you're overpaying there. And by the way, I never pay. I say I'm going to give him $1, and I never pay. I owe a lot of people $1 for saying nice things. So yeah, Bach Aiden, I agree, and that's one of the many reasons I've been wanting to interview Alec for a while, and we were finally able to make it happen this week. Okay, so Guild Strive. No, I can't enter to win the drawing due to my volunteer schedule. Oh, son of a biscuit! You've never played though? What? Ian, what's up? And hello, AA Magic, Awkward Moon, and Art says, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, you should be worried.
Ronoxus, hello, and Sharon, what up, legend? All right, so there is our chat and saying hello. Thank you all super duper duper very much for joining. If not, Alec and I would just be talking to ourselves, which is fine. We both love, ourselves and each other, so we would have a wonderful conversation. But I'm glad you're here. And again, don't forget that liking and subscribing and all that other good stuff.
We do love ourselves. I agree.
Yeah, we'll humor
There's
ourselves.
a lot to love.
there's a lot. Oh my God. There's a lot to love. I'll give you that. All right. So speaking of loving, so some of you may have already heard this, but when I asked Alec if he's ever played True Dungeon before, he said no. Alec, first, how in the world have you never played True Dungeon before? What in the freckity frick?
Well, I posted just, past week or so when we announced this this program, and I kind of told the story that actually what I thought was the first year with True Dungeon in 2004, I got tickets. I was all ready to go with my friends. But then there was a Star Wars seminar I really wanted to attend as well. So I finally, at the last minute, I sold my ticket to someone else, and I went to this Star Wars thing at Gen Con. And so then the next year I didn't go, and so I haven't gone, which, of course, when you asked me to do this, I'm like, why do you want someone who hasn't gone to True Dungeon on True Dungeon Talk? But this is great that now we have this hook that I'm actually going to try it for the first time. And I think it's awesome that we're going to have a group full of newbies and with you as our leader, Trent, as the experienced one.
Yes, that is what's happening. I wanted to interview you for just like what Bach Aiden said, your incredible contributions to the Gen Con community as a whole. It's just second to none, and I just commend you.
I'm a fan of Gen Con.
Yeah, I hear you. You inspire me in my tiny, no, I don't want to say our tiny little group where I'm an admin, fans of True Dungeon. So that is, I actually didn't start the group. I became an admin, and then the leader got busy with life and stuff, so he turned it over to me. So yeah, you are an inspiration. We are nowhere near 35,000. I'm not even sure if we have 1,000. So anyway, what you see in front of you, everybody, is the information that is needed in order to participate and win the one of 6 free True Dungeon tickets for Gen Con. It's for new players only. You must be present during the drawing, which will be, toward the end of the show. And very importantly, you need to be going to Gen Con, have a Gen Con badge, that kind of stuff. But the run is the Fang Fury run, which is going to be obviously at Gen Con on Saturday, August 1st, between 6 and 8 p.m. So if we don't have enough people that meet that criteria by the end of the show, we will figure something out. I have a couple of ideas, but I definitely want to target new players, and obviously you need to be available. So if you meet all of that criteria, check the pinned chat, which is, I think, where is it? I think it's over here. It's going to be one of these areas. Click that link, fill out that information. Fret not, I'm not going to sell it or whatever. I'm just going to use that to communicate with you on coordinating the run. So again, new players only. Be available Saturday 6 to 8. Click that link, fill it out, and if we have less than 6 people, you're going to automatically win. If we have more, then we'll do the official drawing with my little spinny wheel, and we'll see how that goes.
It's going to be rough if you have 7 entries. So
I know. That's going to suck. Okay, so help us out here. let me see. So far, no. Oh, we've got one person who has signed up.
You might be a winner already.
Yeah, you might be a winner already. So maybe not this person, but everybody else, go tell new people who've never played True Dungeon before, who are going to Gen Con. They're going to be available Saturday 6 to 8 to watch the show and sign up for that link. But a little more
What kind of nut job has never played True Dungeon?
I know, especially someone who's been to Gen Con so many times. A little bit more info about the adventure. You can go to truedungeon.com to learn all about True Dungeon. And, of course, you'll have my contact information if you have any questions. But what will happen is you don't need any tokens. You don't need any money. This is all covered. You will get a free 10-pack of tokens. I don't have one close at hand, but it will be 10 tokens, and I'll show you what to do. Basically, that's your equipment. If you've ever played any type of MMO, RPG, helmet, shield, sword, wand, staff, armor, robe, etc. That's what the tokens are. And we'll also trade amongst each other. That's kind of like the beginning of the game. It's going to be awesome. It's super, super fun. And then if we survive, there may be death, just like in D&D, etc. We'll get a survivor button, and we'll also be able to get 3 treasure draws. There's actually a treasure chest, and you pull out treasure, which is more tokens, which is awesome. And then a participation token. And the only way to get that participation token, for instance, here it's Beat of the Wolf, is to play this adventure. So it kind of is exciting to get the tokens and then play again, and every year you just get more and more and more unless you wanted to go nuts and you get a wall full, but you don't need a wall full to play. So that is the basics. And just in case someone has never heard of True Dungeon, my quick version of it is, imagine an escape room and D&D together, and you've got 7 rooms, and each room is either a combat or a puzzle, and you work together as a group to overcome the puzzle to advance to the next room, or there's a scary monster that you must defeat together. One of you might be the cleric, so you're healing. Someone might be the fighter. There's the dwarf fighter who can taunt, and wizards do spells. Basic D&D fun stuff. And that is how it works. And if anyone has any questions about this adventure, True Dungeon, fans of Gen Con, Alec, moi, anything, ask in chat. What I ask people to do is just type the word question, and then right after that, type your question, because as the chat's flying through, I'll be able to grab the questions hopefully a little easier. And if I missed your question, feel free to ask it again. So speaking of that, let me check in with chat here, and let me do that with Alec. So we'll do this together, Alec. Let's check in with chat. Okay, so Gilstripe says he's been playing for a few years, so you don't count. You can't enter. Chris Austin. Oh, what's up, Chris? You're going to love playing TD, and Trent is a great lead to guide. Thank you, sir. AA Magic wants to make fun of you, so let's let him. So since you didn't play True Dungeon, you went to the Star Wars seminar. How was it? And what film was it about?
I don't really remember how it was. It was about Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
3. It was 2?
Oh, was it 3? I don't what. Unless I'm getting mixed up, I actually posted the description.
Yeah, I thought it was
Facebook.
3.
Was it 3? It might have been. Yes, I think you were right. It was 3. Which everyone loves the prequels. Actually, the third one was probably the best of the 3, but I don't remember. Obviously, I as a joke, I put the little meme from Indiana Jones with the chalice. You chose poorly. I probably should. Art was one of the people who was at that True Dungeon, which. I ditched him and my other friends to go do something else, but I probably should have joined them because they did it for many years in a row after that.
Wow!
And I was like, well, I didn't do it the first time. Now I can't join.
Wow, that's insane. That's nuts. All right, so let's see. Dragon Gear says you should give me a ticket so I can keep Alec in line. Sure, we'll give you a ticket as long as you've never played True Dungeon, which we just heard you have.
Yeah.
All right. So what? So Ronoxaceus, I'm sure I said that wrong. What if we have an event but are willing to cancel if we win?
Is it a Star Wars event?
Yeah, yeah. If it's a Star Wars event, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean that's your business. It's your event, so cancel away. Odd Squirrel GM. Hey, Trent, hope you're well. Thank you. I am well. I like to say every day I wake up is a good day. And anytime I'm talking about True Dungeon is a great day. Horty Torty LOL. Signed up, never played. Also my first Gen Con. Ready to be thrown in. Wow. Horty Torty. I think, let me see how many people have signed up so far. I think that's just you so far. I think that
You're looking good to win.
You're looking good. You're looking good. All right. So let's see. Chris says, "Hope to see you at the con. Can't wait for you to be able to play this amazing game." Yeah, it's awesome. AA Magic, not making fun of you. Was just interested. Oh, we're just joking, buddy. Quiz Boy, yay! It's my 2 favorite Facebook people. Oh, that's too much. Too much. And Ron Oxia says, no, it's not a Star Wars event. Well, tell us what event it is, because, if it's Dungeon Crawl Carl, I don't know. Because, there's going to be more True Dungeons happening, right? Awkward Moon, question, my wife has never played. Can I sign her up? Just put her information in, right? Yeah. It will just be your email. Just but put everything else as her name. Starfinder. There'll be more Starfinder events. Okay, so let's again, if there's any more questions about anything, just type question and then what your question is. But it is now time to get to the good stuff. Let's start out with Alec and I talking about Gen Con. Okay, so Gen Con, I think everybody knows already. It's July 30th through August 2nd. Tickets on sale now. Go to gencon.com. And if you didn't know this yet, now you will. True Dungeon has 4 events there. It's amazing. Fang Fury, which is the one that we will be doing with the new players. Monster Unbound, Haunted Manor, Castle Cravenmore. And if you just allow me a couple of seconds here, I just want to talk about each one just kind of briefly.
How many runs do you do each Gen Con?
Oh, that's a good question. I usually do at minimum 2. So a while ago, I would do pretty much, not back to back, but I would do a run, then go back to the beginning, do another one, then maybe have a meal break, and then go do the same thing until meal. So I would end up doing 5 or 6 a day. When I first started going to Gen Con, my buddy said, hey, there's this gaming convention called Gen Con. I had just started to learn to play D&D. This was like 2015, 16. And in 16, he said, hey, there's this thing called a Gen Con. Do you know about it? I was like, no. And he goes, it's a gaming convention. You'll love it. And I was like, sounds good. I'm going. And then he said, oh, there's this game called True Dungeon there. And you play with tokens. I have a bunch of tokens. You don't need to buy any. But unless you want to buy a weapon, you can buy a weapon. So then I went to the True Dungeon website, bought a weapon. And then the next day I realized you could buy another token to get extra treasure. Then the next day I realized you could take that weapon and craft it and make it a +3 weapon. And then the next day I realized you can make it a +5 weapon. And the rest is freaking history. So, and now I will boastfully say I have the most complete collection of all time. And next year I will celebrate 10 years of Trent tokens. So yeah, when I go crazy about something, I go crazy about something. So, but I don't want that to intimidate anyone. No one has to be insane like me. You if you've never played True Dungeon, the 10 tokens you get is that's it. But yeah, to answer your question, a lot. But now, not so much because I'm older and more tired. I usually just do a couple a day. Whew, okay, so about this. So Fang Fury, this is the one that we're doing.
And you must save a peaceful village from a rampaging beast of endless thirst.
Ooh, so that's what we're going to be doing. And
that,
the other
that poor village has to be protected by you, by my group.
Yeah, that village is not going to fare well.
Exactly.
Just like with D&D, sometimes you roll well, sometimes you don't. So we'll see. And one thing about the puzzles, one thing that's kind of amazing, I don't consider myself, very smart. I'm ridiculously handsome, obviously, so I'm not so smart. So I'm not so great at puzzles. But the group I run with, they're great at puzzles. So you want to try to run with smart people. So that's why another reason I'm picking Alec, because clearly he's smart. You're going to be great at the puzzles. I know it. So you'll see. For me, not so much. But fret not if you don't feel like you're great at puzzles, because someone in the group will know Greek mythology, or someone in the group will know all about Thor, or all about something. You know, there's just kind of like world knowledge. Someone in your group, if not multiple people, will be able to come together, and sometimes I might notice one tiny thing, and that might spark someone smarter to figure out the puzzle. But it's all about being a group. So as a group, you defeat the monster, and as a group, you figure out the puzzle. So just wanted to kind of set the tone there and make sure people aren't afraid of that. But speaking of being afraid, in Monster Unbound,
You must enter the dark abode of a mad tinkerer who holds specialized weapons needed to face the vampire menace who dwells within Castle Cravenmore.
oh, that sounds scary. Sounds scary. Now, Haunted Manor is kind of an homage to a certain theme park. We won't name any names, but it's an homage. And in this one, you must...
Find a way out of a spirit-infested mansion filled with some not-so-friendly ghosts and ghouls.
And then finally, this is the part 4. This is the big bad here in Castle Cravenmore.
You are challenged to sneak into a haunted castle to end the threat of a vile vampire who rules Cravenmore with an iron fist.
Oh, that sounds scary. And speaking of scary, Alec, that was Gen Con. That was True Dungeon. Let's start with you. So... you were once a little Alec, and here is a photo.
Who can imagine?
Of little Alec. Tell us what we're looking at here. Who is this, and tell us all about this young man.
I don't know who that kid is. No, that's little Alec. And what I especially love about that picture is the little piece of tape on the glasses. Obviously, I broke my glasses, and it's got a nice black electrical tape on the side there,
okay,
which is typical 70s nerd.
All right, let's zoom in on that. Oh, there we go, right there. See the glass? Oh, the black tape? That is awesome. How handsome are you? So this is from the 70s, you say?
It sure is, yeah. Early 70s.
Wow.
Or mid 70s, I guess. I'm not sure my exact age here, but yeah, there's a little Alec.
Yeah, little Alec.
I like the smirk. It's like I know something.
Yeah, either that or you are you're planning something like someone behind the photographer. You're planning. Wait till I get you out at recess, you little one. So this makes me wonder, like, what part of the world did you grow up in?
I'm a New Yorker, so I grew up this would be in Kingston, New York. I spent the first half of my childhood in Kingston, New York, and the second half of my childhood in Catskill, New York.
Now, is Catskill?
Catskill, people know the Catskill Mountains, but then there is a town and village in the Catskill Mountains called Catskill, New York.
Did you go to all of any of those famous comedian things, or when like people tour and come in? Is that the Catskills? When we hear that phrase?
The Borscht Belt, yep, exactly. Yeah. That was kind of the heyday, was before my time, when all the New Yorkers, especially the Jewish New Yorkers, came up to the Catskills to vacation. But there still were quite a few, there's ski areas up there, and there's still quite a few like resorts and things. Actually, when I was a young teenager, I worked at a busboy at Friar Tuck Inn, which was like this kind of Borscht Belt getaway up there. And yeah.
Very cool. Wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I've heard of where you're from. Let's check in with chat here. Oh, speaking of that, you got to help me remember, people. Do that liking and subscribing. It helps to spread the love of True Dungeon and the show. It's super important. And actually, right before the show started, Sharon, I think it was, became a subscriber. So thank you for subscribing. And anyone else who can subscribe, I thank you ahead of time. And if you already have subscribed, thank you very much. Also, if you know anybody who's never played True Dungeon before, tell them to sign in and watch the show, because so far, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people have signed up so far. So please go tell new people to sign up. So let's check in with chat here. Bach Aiden, in this year's dungeons are Bach and good time according to one DM. Something tells me he's the dungeon master. AA Magic says, I was going to say, see if Matt Dinneman would be interested in joining. Then you could have a new crossover event, True Dungeon Crawler Carl. Okay, well, if anybody has a connection, let me know. Vanessa asks, when is the event? Thank you very much for asking that question. And you're right, I should periodically show this. The event is Fang Fury at Gen Con, obviously, Saturday, August 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. So what we're hoping is that new players, you must be present during the drawing, which is at the end of the show, and you, of course, need to be available Saturday between 6 and 8 at Gen Con. If you were like 6:15-ish, it's okay, but that's the time frame where you want to be available. Thank you for that very good question. Back to chat. Bach Aiden answered, yes, Fang Fury 6 p.m. Chris says, rightfully boast about your collection. It's amazing. Oh, thank you. AA Magic, you say insanity like it's a bad thing. I know. You're amongst friends. We're all the good insane, right? Odd Squirrel Jim, I played with Trent. Don't let him tell you this. Okay. AA Magic, minor spoiler. Trent is a werewolf. Come on.
I told you that in secret.
But only on YouTube. That's right. He is a link and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Come on, man. How it took this long.
Come on, that's a good pun. That's a good pun.
One. That's a good one. We'll have a pun contest later. How long it took for this joke to happen during the horror year is true surprise. I'll see myself out. Yes, you should see yourself out. Lord have mercy. Some people's children, they just they just weren't raised properly. Speaking of some people's children, since we showed a 70s child photo of yours, I thought it only appropriate to show a 70s child photo of mine. And I earlier made, in our little promo, I made a humorous comment that you've got Superman glasses and I've got Superman ears. So yeah, those are called the Trent ears, by the way.
That shirt is amazing. I have pictures from the 70s with very similar styles, with the big collars and the great patterns.
Yeah. That is a 70s shirt. This is age 5, so this is 72, 73. It's up to like when this was taken. But yeah, that's me at 5. At least that's what I have on the back of that photo. So yeah, that's when I had hair, and now I got the same ears, but I cover them up with this. But yeah, there you go. So speaking of your youth, what is this from? What is this photo?
This is my 10th birthday party, which I thought was cute because I'm opening up a Star Wars action figures, which was a gift, obviously, which I still have all my Star Wars toys from when I was a kid. And yeah, I was
way.
Definitely obsessed with the Star Wars world since I saw the movie in the theater in 1977.
So you still have these 3 minis, action figures? No way. How do you have them? Is it in a box, plastic, or how do you store them?
They're in my carrying case I've had since I was this age.
No way. So how did you hear about Star Wars and tell us about young you going to see Star Wars for the first time? What was that experience like?
Oh, I mean, I have no idea how I first heard about it, but like every kid that age, I went and saw the movie and saw it again and again, and had tons of fun playing with all the toys with my friends. And this would have been March of 1980, so this would have been 2 months before The Empire Strikes Back came out. So of course I saw that, and yeah.
So of the 3 originals, do you have a favorite? Let's start there.
Definitely the original Star Wars, which
the first
was later subtitled A New Hope. But I'm excited. I think next year they're bringing the original version of Star Wars, because it's been tinkered with over the year. Just like in 1980 or I think 79, they added that A New Hope Episode 4 subtitle. But anyway, my favorite is definitely the original. That was
original in its original form is what you like.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a favorite character or someone that you identify with?
I mean, everyone loves Han Solo, but all the characters are wonderful. It's my as a young boy, I certainly liked seeing Princess Leia in her outfit in Return of the Jedi and all these things. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite action figure or toy, whatever kind of toy they would have been, of your whole Star Wars collection?
Oh, I don't know. My Millennium Falcon got a lot of use. My AT-AT, all these, yeah.
Very cool. Did you ever own the Han Solo's, pistol? Remember that? Did you ever
I
have
don't
that?
know if I owned it. I've certainly seen it, and I'm sure I played with it. If I didn't, one of my friends certainly did, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that I may have seen, because where I grew up, we didn't see a lot of toys like this. But someone had that, and I just thought that was the coolest thing of all time. Yeah, the Han Solo gun. I just thought that was super, super cool. So, in your nerddom, that clearly you were, a young, gaming nerd, and I say that obviously.
Still am.
Yeah, and still are, right? You've been
Well, not a young gaming nerd anymore,
but when
I'm
you were
certainly
a young gaming nerd, were there other movies that really kind of spoke to you like Star Wars, or was it just on a whole nother level?
I mean, there were so many good movies. I still love going back and watching so many things from the 80s. Actually, just the other night I went and saw Excalibur on the big screen, which at the time it came out I was probably a little young for it, but I loved it and I still love it. It's an amazing movie. I'm not sure, was that
Sean Connery?
No. Nigel Terry was he played King Arthur in it. But the original Excalibur, I'm not sure if it came out in 80 or 82. I think it came out in 80. But that was an amazing movie. It's a little more adult for a 10-year-old, but I didn't care. I loved it. And still do. I went and saw it on the big screen the other day at the local Alamo Draft House. Wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, I have one of those near me as well. I like it. Let's check in with chat here. Chat, so Chris says they are releasing the original episode in theaters unedited. Me and my uncle are going to see it. Can't wait. Anime Super J. What's up, Anime Super J? Don't think I've said hello to you. Question for Alec. Have you seen the special editions of Star Wars?
I mean, I saw the original version in the theaters when I was a kid, but I don't think
yes.
I've heard no, but I know they've taken the newer versions and removed all the CGI and stuff to make it more like the original. But no, I haven't seen it online, that version. But
cool.
I'm excited to see it in theaters again next year.
Anime Super J says the specialized. So I think that's what he's talking about, or they are talking about. So were there any other games that you might have been into as a youngin'?
Yeah, so I'll tell you about this letter, but this is interesting. So I loved all sorts of games as a kid. We played everything, Monopoly, Risk, more complicated ones, and then I got into RPGs. Started playing basic D&D, moved to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, started Gamma World, all these games. Which in the late 70s, and then really got big. So anyway, in the 80s, as people probably know, there was this thing called the Satanic Panic, where some people tried to make the case that Dungeons and Dragons was harmful to children. And our local paper, the Catskill Daily Mail, had a letter from the mom of one of my classmates who wrote in this horrible thing about Dungeons and Dragons and how it's so perverting and how horrible it is. And so I was very upset to read this story. So I wrote a response saying, how D&D is wonderful. It, helps you with problem solving. It helps you with socializing. If you do LARPing, it even gives you some exercise. And so I wrote this response, which the local paper published as a response to Ms. Corbett's letter, where she was saying, how horrible Dungeons and Dragons and how harmful it was. So I was, you see how I signed it at the bottom. I think I don't know if I was totally honest, but I think I signed it. Yeah, a well-adjusted 13-year-old D&D player. Not sure how well-adjusted I was, but I was quite up in arms that someone would. I loved D&D then, and I still love it today. And I was not going to let someone badmouth it.
That is astonishing. I don't think I would have the wherewithal or even to think about doing something like this. So even at this age, you were someone who stood up for others, who did something, active for something you believed in, and went so far as to communicate in the realm of the adults. I mean, I was astonished when I heard about this, and I don't know if I'm overreacting or maybe putting too much into this, but this was a huge thing that kind of blew me away. So kudos to you at that time, especially this is during the panic. Right. So, I mean, you were like, no.
Thankfully, I grew up in a household that was pretty liberal, and, my parents didn't subscribe to these crazy ideas that, the devil was influencing children via this game called Dungeons and Dragons. So luckily, I grew up in a different household, but not ever. I've heard, I had lots of friends who were, their parents forced them to throw out their books because they believed some of this garbage. But anyway, yeah.
Well, the mother of your friend, right, who wrote that letter, I mean, I assume he had to get rid of all his stuff. So what version of D&D was this? What was your first version of D&D? What edition?
The very first version I played was basic D&D. But then, we played Advanced. We kind of played a combo. I mean, at that time, basic D&D was very compatible with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So eventually I got the hardcover books and the player's handbook and everything. And so, so I was playing AD&D for a very long time. And we played so many other games as well. So many RPGs, Boot Hill, Gamma World. I loved all the superhero ones. We played DC heroes. I loved Marvel superheroes. I was also a big comic book nerd at the time, so those ones were lots of fun. But no, my first love and still my true love is Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow! Now, for argument's sake, especially with the the people in chat here, what would you say is the best edition of D&D? What version? What edition?
For me, first edition Dungeons and Dragons, and it's the best because it's the one I grew up with. Actually, during the pandemic, we started a campaign with friends, my son and my sister, and other folks who joined in, and I made all these younger folks play advanced first edition D&D because that's my preference. We even had quite a good campaign that started in the pandemic and went on for a couple years. We've been on a little bit of hiatus lately, but I took them through all these classic D&D adventures, like the Giant series and Salt Marsh. And,
very cool.
Ravenloft, and it was great fun for me to take
Ravenloft
them through. Yeah, to take them through all these things I loved as a kid, and then got to revisit just quite recently.
Well, this year is in part inspired by Ravenloft, for sure, of True Dungeon. So, did you do a lot of dungeon mastering when you were young?
I did both. I DM'd and played. In my adult life, I've mostly just DM'd because that's my preference, but I did a lot of both. We kind of switched off. I remember we would, me and my friends would, we'd get off school on Friday at whatever time. We'd start playing. We'd play all night into Saturday. Maybe we'd stop a few hours to sleep here or eat there. We'd play all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then go Sunday night and get up to go to school on Monday. But we used to play it just so much. It was wonderful.
That's unbelievable. Now, you said that you had other hobbies. So comic books, I guess, was one of them. What are we looking at here, and why is this important to you?
So this is another cute thing. When I was a kid, I loved comic books. I mean, what's been really fun, all these comics and heroes that I knew as a kid and loved as a kid, it's been so much fun over the past couple of decades seeing them on the big screen and re-experience them, all these heroes. Like there was a Vision and Scarlet Witch series on Disney Plus, which I thought was just wonderful. But anyway, so this is one of the things this was probably, I don't know when this was, around 85 maybe. They had the Vision and Scarlet Witch were having a baby, which is kind of nonsensical since he is a synthetic, he's a robot basically, an android. But anyway, they're having a baby, so they had to name the baby contest. So I put in my entry and I won. I won a piece of original artwork from this series, which still hangs on my wall. And so I have my own little contribution to the Marvel universe where I named, they had twins actually. I only named one of them, little Thomas.
What? That's insane. Congratulations. Whoa. I think that's how I would introduce myself to everyone.
I should.
Hi, my name is Alec. I named the Scarlet Witch's child. Hi, my name is Alec. I named the Scarlet Witch's child. Oh, hi. My name is Alec.
Of course, if get into the lore of Marvel later, there's this whole thing where it turned out to, were they real? Were they not? Was it a figment of her imagination? Did she bring it
Right.
apart together by magic? And they even covered that in the miniseries, which was cute as well.
Yeah. I did not grow up with comic books. Like I said, where I grew up, we didn't have like toys and see movies and stuff. So I've only been introduced to this through the movies, and it's amazing. When I first started watching that TV show, I thought, what am I watching? And then after a couple minutes, I was like, oh wait, this is the shtick. This is the
WandaVision?
reason. Yeah, the WandaVision one. That's
It was good. It was good how they
Yeah.
did it, and all revisiting all these errors of television. It was very cool.
I didn't know what I was watching, because by then I had watched a bunch of other ones, and it was, here's the hero, here's the bad guy, fight, it's fun. But this was, I was like, what am I watching? But once I got it, it was very cool. All right, so let's see. Let me go to chat here, and if you don't mind me pulling it up with Alec, let's see. So we've got AA Magic has a question. I may have missed it, but what character did you play at the time? Follow-up question: What do you prefer playing now? So yeah, we didn't. I don't think you mentioned that. What character did you like to play D&D? Or class, I guess, right?
I love to play archers. I love to be kind of in the back and sniping and things. So that was always fun. Yeah, playing now, I don't know. I haven't. I've mostly been DMing, which is my real. I like to put other people on the spot rather than myself having to face these challenges. I much prefer challenging others than yeah.
Well, speaking of that, and this goes to everyone who's never played True Dungeon before. The classes are the standard classes that you would assume. You've got a cleric, you have a fighter, you have a dwarf fighter, which is a variation, you have a wizard, you have an elf wizard, which is a variation, you have a druid, you have a ranger, which is something you might like, you have a rogue, you have a monk. Monk and ranger, by the way, can use 2 pucks, and that's how you play. If you definitely don't know anything about True Dungeon, the way you play is you take your weapon token, you stick it inside what looks like a little hockey puck kind of thing, and you slide it on kind of a shuffleboard type thing, and at the one end is you, and at the other end is like a drawing of the monster, and each little section of the graphic might be like the eyeballs might be crit, the legs might be 12s, and you have to like roll to hit. And I'm sure I missed some classes, but yeah,
Cleric was also a class I always loved. I thought it was a good combination where you still were halfway decent in combat, but then had spellcasting and thing. I thought it was a good mixture.
Yeah, you said cleric?
At least in D&D, yeah.
Yeah. Clerics are cool. Yeah, I was afraid to play a cleric when I first started, but I have played cleric before, and it's been one of my favorites. So eventually, AA Magic says that is amazing that you got to name the child. I agree. Chris also agrees. That's amazing. That's just, I'd put it on my business card. I'd put it on my damn LinkedIn and my resume. That's how amazing that is. But speaking of amazing, you grew out of being a younger nerd child into a nerd younger adult, right? What are we looking at here?
This is a picture from college, which obviously we were playing Risk. We played a lot of games when I was in college, and yeah. One year, our dorm room had an empty room, and we somehow got the key to it from a housing, and we turned it into our game room. We always had a game of Axis and Allies set up there, and we would play it all the time. Yeah.
So, how did you pass elementary school, junior high, high school, and college with all this gaming you were doing? When did you study?
I was not a good student as a child. When I got into college, I got a little serious and became a little more studious when I got into college. In my later years, I finally got my act together. But no, when I was young, I was like, I basically resigned myself to doing summer school every year because I said, I can slack off all year and all I have to do is do a month during the summer. Yeah, I'll yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, since you shared that, I'm going to share this. So I was also not a good student for a bunch of different reasons. By the time we got to high school, I, for the first time ever, met the guidance counselor. Yeah, I didn't know what it was called. Yeah, so we met the guidance counselor, and this would have been, I guess, maybe like the second quarter, right before the last quarter, or something like that, or semester, whatever they called it. And it was signing up for the classes for the final thing, to graduate. And he said, you don't have enough credits to graduate. And I was like, what are you talking about? I each year I had exactly enough credits to, pass. I never failed any grades. Definitely failed some classes. And he said, well, yeah, we expect when you go from 9th to 10th, 10th to 11th, 11th to 12th, you're going to get more than just the minimum to graduate. And that's what I did. I just got the minimum to graduate, to the next class. And he goes, yeah, you're one class short. You've got to either take summer class or come back or whatever. And I said, no, I'm joining the Navy. I'm out, so good luck. And he goes, well, you can't join because, you haven't graduated. And it's just like, well, how about this? We had lunch, like A lunch and B lunch. The A people were eating and the B people were taking class, and they would switch A and B lunch. And I said, well, how about I skip lunch? So during A, I take a class. During B, I take another class, and then I just take a class all day long. He goes, well, you can't do that. It's not possible. And then I don't know, convinced him somehow. And that's what I did. So I passed all those classes, and that's how I graduated high school, because I was a horrible student. So I'm with you. You did summer school. I did a class during lunch. So there you go. Look at that. You learn all kinds of fun stuff about us. All right. So looks like we have another question here. So let's pop up to the chat here. The question is from AA Magic. Says, if you are good at memorization, I would recommend the Wizard and Elf Wizard, Cleric and Bard, knowledge checks that allow damage, healing, boosting. Helps to find out about monster fighting. Yes. So there's two beginning sections to play. One we call coaching, and that's when you're going to trade tokens and figure out what classes you're going to play. Then there's a training section. So coaching is 24 minutes, training is 12 minutes, and then every room is 12 minutes. So when you go into training, you'll see the memorization stuff. So if you're really good at memorization, and you whether you are or not, you can still play those classes. But if you memorize the things, you'll get a boost, and your spell will still work, but you'll have a little boost to the damage. And Chris has a question. Have you had a chance to play the combined board of Axis and Allies? It's the Pacific and Atlantic campaign. Made my dad love it. How about that?
I haven't played that. I've seen different versions of it. The original Axis and Allies, which I played back in the 80s, was, it did have the Pacific and the Atlantic. But I know there's like anniversary versions and newer versions. I've seen them set up, these huge,
I bet they're ginormous.
Huge boards. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's amazing that you guys had a dorm room where you had games in it. That's just crazy. So besides being a bad student until later in your college years, what, if I may ask, what did you study at school? What kind of degree did you get?
I have a degree in accounting.
Whoa! See, I told you were smart. Holy potato chips. Man,
I don't know if all accountants are smart, but yeah.
Wow. Now, I have a film degree, and I've done some film stuff, but I don't know if most is the right word, but many people don't end up working in their field or like ever. Did you ever do any accounting-oriented things with your degree?
I did a little when I started, but no, I'm more in general business now. But even so, the accounting background is kind of so helpful in any business role where you're managing P&L or, yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I didn't actually become an accountant, but that's what my degree is in.
Very cool. Yeah.
I mean, even now, like my local HOA, I'm the treasurer of and manage the finances for them and everything.
I was about to say, do you do your own taxes? Do you help other people with their taxes? All of that stuff. So yeah, all those basics, any type of business stuff is pretty smart. Wow, that's pretty cool. I would have never guessed accountant. I would have probably thought, I don't know, some type of engineering, usually gaming nerds are engineers or computer nerds.
If I was a better student earlier and not playing so much D&D and with Star Wars toys and reading comic books, I probably could have been an engineer or a computer scientist or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's funny. All right. So there was definitely one thing I noticed when I was looking at some photos online of you. You are ridiculously handsome and sexy. Tell us, what is this handsome and sexy pose? Where are you? What year is this? And why were you looking so handsome?
This was, I don't know, this is 10 or 15 years ago. It's in Washington, D.C. You can see the cherry blossoms. So, and I remember when I took this picture, what I was doing, I was kind of shaking the tree, which maybe you're not supposed to do, but I was shaking the tree so the blossoms were falling down. I don't think you can really see that effect. Yeah, maybe you see a couple, but
Right.
But yeah, I love Washington's a wonderful place to visit. This
That's
was with my
very
whole
cool.
family,
Yeah, let me zoom in here. You know, you've got that smirk again, right? So you seem to be this is your thing. You got the cute little smirk going on. Well, I'm terribly jealous of this handsome photo. So you know, you look pretty awesome here. So I had to show that. And speaking of awesome, this is what, 1996?
I somehow tricked someone into marrying me. Yes.
Wow. How did you meet? How did you convince her? What lies did you say? Did she fail her saving role? I mean,
Exactly.
how in the world did this happen? And where are you, if I may ask? This is a beautiful location.
Yeah, Jill was my college sweetheart, and this is when we got married. This is actually 30 years ago. With this this is on the
way.
beach in the Cayman Islands. Yeah, we kind of ran away and eloped.
Wow. Wow. She looks so happy there, and you just look like you're just adoring
The cat
her.
ate the canary, maybe.
Yeah. It's incredible. Well, just like every other gaming nerd I've ever met, you definitely married up. So congratulations to us both. Oh, and speaking of family, I've got another family photo here. You guys had some little gaming munchkins, I see.
We do. There's Safi and there's Liam. Yep.
Wow. Can I ask where those names came from? Especially Liam. Please
Saf-
say it's I have special skills.
Liam's a family name, which is short for William.
Okay.
We decided to call him Liam, but being English, there's a lot of Williams in my family tree going back literally hundreds of years.
Yeah.
William's a pretty popular name going back to William the Conqueror in England, but yeah. So lots of ancestors have the name William. And then my daughter is Safi, short for Saffron, which, believe it or not, was a character from a British TV show called Absolutely Fabulous, which there was a daughter named Saffron in it.
Dude.
We loved that name, so we named our daughter that. Yeah.
I know, absolutely fabulous. I did a stint in theater, and I lived with 3 other theater nerds, and one of them said, "Hey, you ever heard of Absolutely Fabulous?" I was like, "No." And this is the VHS days. He goes, "Oh, you got to watch this." We watch the whole thing, constantly every day until we finish the series. It's one of the most incredible series of all time. So yeah, that is funny. Speaking of William and your family tree, I hope you don't mind, I did a lot of digging on you on the interwebs. I found this. Tell the audience what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so the Ustickes go back to Cornwall, and this is actually a coat of arms that one of my ancestors had. Oh, I don't remember how many hundreds of years ago. It probably should more accurately be titled Noel Usticke, because it was the combination of a number of families. But there's all this history. My father, before he died, did all this genealogy research, which is quite interesting. I have some things up on my wall, like documents from my ancestors going back hundreds of years. And this crest is this coat of arms is kind of unusual because it has 3 crests. I don't know if they're called crests, but you can see there's the helmet with the I think it's an eagle, and then there's the arm with the sword and some type of bird on the other side. It's very unusual to have 3 of those toppers, which were basically were 3 different families that combined into So there's this whole
cool.
Interesting. Yeah, some of my ancestors were quite, kind of landed gentry. Unfortunately, none of the money trickled down to me or
I know.
anything.
Trickle down never works.
It's interesting to read the history.
Yeah.
I've been to the UK, but I've never been to Cornwall. One day I have to find out where. And the name Usticke, I think, comes from a place named St. Just.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I thought that was just cool because I don't think everybody has that in their past. I think it might be time for a reminder for anyone who's currently watching. If you've never played True Dungeon and you are, as I said, a new player and you're watching now live and you'd like to play with me and Alec, and you're available Saturday 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at GenCon, please enter the pinned link. click that, enter that, and at the end of the show we'll do a drawing. Let me check. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. So maybe all of you new people tell other new people don't join, because that means you guys automatically win. But we shall see. So that is that. Now, in your travels of going to different conventions, you meet, I think, amazing people, right? Would you say?
Absolutely.
Yes. Now,
Very
who
amazing
is
people.
this young man? Where did you meet him? And where's this photo from?
That's Trent.
What? I've
Yeah,
heard about
so
him. He's so
I
handsome.
like this. I like this photo because I'm wearing my Gen Con shirt. I'm wearing
Yeah.
another Gen Con shirt now, but I was wearing my Gen Con shirt from Gen Con 2001, which was my first Gen Con. So that's pretty
crazy.
cute. And this is at Con. So this is a local convention in Connecticut that I
Yep.
ran into you, and I'm glad you snapped this picture. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I swear there's got to be more photos of us, but this is the only one that I could find. But that's from Con. Short train ride up, from the city to Connecticut, and bada bing, bada boom. But now it's time for my favorite part of the show. What is this photo, and when is this?
This is Gen Con 2001, my first Gen Con, and also my buddy Art's. You threatened in the chat that he was going to be featured, but
Yep.
this is Art and myself at our first Gen Con in 2001. Yeah,
Now, was this Art's first time as well?
it was both of ours. Yeah, so
Wow.
as a D&D nerd and a regular reader of Dragon Magazine, I remember reading about Gen Con, and when I was a kid, it was so unattainable. It was many states away, and I certainly didn't have any money or the ability to travel or anything,
Yeah.
so I always dreamed of going to Gen Con. When I became an adult and finally had money to to do things I wanted to do, we decided to go to Gen Con for the first time, and this year will be our 24th Gen Con. So it's wonderful. And this is the only Gen Con we attended in Milwaukee. Then every other Gen Con we've been at has been in Indianapolis.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and at the time my wife joined us, and she was pregnant with our first child, so that's the only
Wow.
one she's been to.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, and then Gen Con, True Dungeon started in 2003. So I don't think that was Indianapolis. I thought that was in
It was
SoCal.
2003 was the first Indianapolis. Oh, maybe it was at SoCal or
Yeah,
something. I don't know.
I think the
But
first was SoCal.
Oh.
And then I think it was Gen.
yeah, because when I had bought a ticket for True Dungeon in 2004, I thought that was the first True
Maybe it
Dungeon,
was the
but I
first
don't know.
one
I think
at
previously it was
Indianapolis.
unadvertised. It wasn't in the first. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but
Yeah.
my memory was that I missed the first one that was at Indy, but I'm not sure.
Yep. Chat might be able to help us there. Okay, so Art, this is your part of the show. So I've seen your name. Of course, you and Alec, rather, speak often in Fans of Gen Con, and I check it all the time.
Art's
And
my roommate at Gen Con to this day.
What was that?
Art is my roommate at Gen Con.
Oh,
to this
no
day.
way!
Yeah.
You guys are still friends. Wow, that's amazing.
Somehow
You
I
might-
haven't driven him away yet.
Yeah, he might say the same about you, by the way. So I've seen your name come up a lot. All right. So Art, and just like when I would read Alec's name, I pronounce it wrong in my head. This is how I pronounce your name, and I have for many years when I see it in Fans of Gen Con. And I want everyone else, so I'm going to see if I can type it in chat here. I think that's how you type, that's the correct spelling of your name. Is that right, Art?
DAHM.
Yep, that's what I wrote. Okay, so this is how. So everybody, if you haven't read his name before, read it in your head. Think how that sounds and how to say it correctly. This is how I say it in my head. Art, and also I, in my head, enunciate it like this. Art, damn. Every time I see your name, I go in my head, Art, damn, just like that. And then I read whatever it is you wrote.
Based on his sarcastic posts in the group, I know a lot of people are saying, Art, damn!
Yeah. So Sharon says we do as well. Yeah. Yeah. So he goes, "Oh my." Yeah, I say art. Damn. Every single time. So you take an extra second of my day when I read your name, and I'm happy about it. But apparently that's not how you correctly say your name. Alec, please tell us how to say Art's last name.
Art Dom.
That's not right.
You keep calling him Art Dam. That's fine. I
not-
might start, actually.
Yeah, Art, damn. Sorry, I can't fix it. Usticke, I can fix because I knew I was saying it wrong. I'm not fixing this. You are forever Art, damn, in my head. Sorry. So AA Magic, well, now that is how we're all saying it now. Good. Yeah. Everybody.
When you see Art at Gen Con, make sure.
Yeah. When you see
I'm
Art,
sure he'll love it.
yeah, go Art, damn, across the hall. So you've met amazing, cool people at Gen Con. Here's one of them. Tell us who this is and why this guy's special.
I think this was 2005. This is Reiner Knizia. So he is a rather prolific board game designer. It was awesome to meet him, and he signed my copy of Beowulf, which is actually a game I still play now. It's a really fun game. But Reiner Knizia has so many games, and it was awesome. I've met a lot of amazing people at Gen Con, and this was one of them.
Yeah. Speaking of meeting amazing people, tell us what this is. You took this photo, right?
Yeah, this was
2007.
2007. Okay, not much before Gary Gygax died, but this was a panel that included Gary Gygax, and of course to his right here. Well, not to his right, to the right of the picture, to his left is Peter Atkinson, one of the owners of Gen Con, and it was wonderful to meet Gary Gygax for the first time, and just before he passed away. But I thought this was kind of cool, getting to see the two of these guys together.
Yeah,
and look how young Peter is here. It's a great photo.
Well,
it's a horrible photo, but he looks good in it.
No, it's a cool photo. And when you think of Gary Gygax, I think that's the look you think of. That I don't know. He just kind of looks like
teddy bear,
quite the character there. He looks like quite the character. The face, the mouth, the expression. It's a really cool photo. And I
remember on this panel, people are asking what games he was playing a lot, and I remember he said, my friends and I were been playing Power Grid every single week. I was like, oh, I gotta play more Power Grid, I guess.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. So
a game you would hate. It's an economics game with a lot of money and math and stuff. You would hate it.
No,
but,
yeah.
But it's one of my favorites. I love Power Grid.
My close True Dungeon nerd friends know that I suck at math and I'm not great at puzzles. I'm not a big board gamer. I shared that with Alec this past week when we connected. I'm just not good at board games. It's just not my thing. But there is something else that you're very, very good at, and that's being the admin of Fans of Gen Con, which you have done since May 25th of 2011. How in the heck did you become the admin of Fans of Gen Con? And tell us what prompted you to think that you could be the admin, because that's quite a feat. Tell us how you got involved in this.
I don't know so interesting. So there was this, I'm not sure when Facebook started having groups, but some random person who I don't even know created this group about Gen Con. It even had a typo in the group name. Originally it wasn't called Fans of Gen Con. It was called Gen Con Indy, and I think it had like a lowercase I and an uppercase NDY. I don't know. It was a mess. But anyway, it was just this small group that a few of us, were part of and posted in, but it was full of spammers and thankfully, I think when it was like the group was abandoned at some point, which is why it was full of spammers and a lot of garbage. A friend of mine named Matt, another Gen Con attendee who unfortunately passed away at a very young age, he somehow was automatically assigned as the admin, and he's said, Alec, you want to help, clean up this mess? And so I joined in, and I, locked it down, got rid of the spammers, made sure one of the most important rules we had is that the posts have to be on topic about Gen Con. So people are always posting like general gaming things, which unfortunately we decline. I mean, obviously this time of year, if you post about a board game that's going to be at Gen Con, great. But if you just want to talk about a board game that isn't at Gen Con or you're running a Kickstarter, we don't allow those posts. Thankfully, I have a whole mod team that helps me with this. They do most of the heavy lifting. But yeah, we cleaned up the group. I think when I joined it, it was a couple hundred members. And over the past couple of decades, it's grown and has become quite a wonderful community.
And how many members are in this group?
We just passed 35,000 members, which is pretty cool.
That's insane. That is just nuts. That's nuts. And in case anyone here in chat doesn't know about the group, definitely go to Facebook and search for Fans of Gen Con. And also each year, especially in the more recent years, there's been swag, ribbons, dice, and I think this might be new this year. We
had some lanyards made.
Right.
Thanks to our members, they chip in quite a bit of money, so I can buy thousands and thousands of dice, which we then hand away for free. We do that. We have a table on Community Row, which is in the second level of the convention center. So you can stop by and grab a badge ribbon, grab a free die, and this year we're going to have lanyards, which is still waiting to receive. It's in shipment. I'm a little scared. We're running out of time here, so they better get here first. But I had a few thousand lanyards even made up this year.
Wow.
So, and this is all just from the generosity of people who contribute to our GoFundMe so that we can produce this stuff to give away to a lot of happy fans. Who doesn't want a die at Gen Con?
Everybody.
Dice at Gen Con,
yeah. Now, you also each year ask people to volunteer to take turns at this table. Do you need to let people know about that? Do you still need people, or you're all good?
We fill our schedule's full. We have all our volunteers lined up. Actually, I've heard from a couple of people who were a little too late putting their name in the hat, who wanted to join in, but our schedule's full. So I appreciate all the folks who man this table and just kind of talk about our group, and mainly it's handing out goodies to people.
Got it. I see in chat here. Art says, "Why couldn't you use one of the Gen Con pics of me when I'm skinny?" Art, I don't know you that well, but I think I do. We couldn't find any.
No, Art looks good. He's
shots fired. Shots fired. There's plenty of me that you can pick at, so go right ahead, Art. Art, damn. Now, speaking of Gen Con, the chatter spikes at a certain time of the year. What are we looking at here, Alec?
Yeah. I mean, one reason I love the group is because it extends the best 4 game days in gaming to all year long for me. So I'm always talking about Gen Con, but obviously the amount of activity. I mean, even you can see October, November, December, it's pretty quiet. There's still hundreds, if not thousands, of message posted during those times. But it's funny, you can see the spike. So badges went on sale in January. You see that spike. Housing was announced, and then housing actually occurred in February. You see that spike. In May, you see that big spike during event registration.
Yep.
And then it grows and grows. You can see it's getting bigger, more and more activity in the group. And then, of course, you can see Gen Con last year where it just goes through the roof. So we have thousands of posts, thousands of comments, as you can see here. I think in the past year we had over 300,000 reactions. That's people clicking on like or love or whatever. So it's a lot of activity. But yeah, it's impossible. Around Gen Con time, it gets to the point where it's impossible. I used to read every single comment in the group around Gen Con time. Even I can't keep up. And believe it or not, I'm trying to spend time at Gen Con as well. So it's our mods are really thankless and keep this group under control. And during Gen Con, it's definitely trial by fire.
Yeah, I bet. If you don't know about this group, now you do. Go to Facebook and look for Fans of Gen Con. It's an incredible resource. Any question you have, just ask, and someone's going to be able to answer it and or point you to where the answer will be. Speaking of you at Gen Con, each year, especially in the current past 5 years or so, I assume you do the same-ish things each year, or maybe not. What do you do every year at Gen Con?
on the earlier slide, it talked about the stink. I always do that on Wednesday where we hand out a lot of goodies. But the things I do, I love going through the exhibit hall. I spend a lot of time in there looking at new games. It basically takes me nearly 2 full days to get through the whole exhibit hall.
Wow.
I probably, this is kind of funny, I guess, but I probably play fewer games at Gen Con. I always play some, but I probably play fewer games at Gen Con than any other con. When I'm going to Con, for example, I'm gaming nonstop the whole time I'm there.
Right.
At Gen Con, there's so much to do with entertainment and food and seminars. We talked about Ravenloft earlier. The authors of Ravenloft, the Hickmans are going to be. I had to sign up for that seminar to see them.
They're going to be doing that this year, right?
Yeah. So there's just so much to do and see. I probably do less gaming at Gen Con than any other gaming convention.
Do you
it's
buy
the
a
Super
lot of
Bowl of?
Yeah, right. It is the Super Bowl. Do you buy a lot of games in the dealer hall, or
Sometimes, which is, from an economic standpoint, isn't necessarily the wisest thing because often they become cheaper later once they're sold online.
I see. Got it.
But I do. I have that new game-itis, and I love getting when there's exclusive things, when there's early releases. I love picking them up. So, yeah. And usually I'm always trying to find someone who will ferry my games back because usually I'm flying. Well, every year up until this is my first year I'm actually going to drive because I'm going to have I got a car full of dice and other things I'm going to be transporting. So I'm going to try driving. It might be rough. It's going to be a long drive from New York to Indy.
Yeah.
We'll see if I ever repeat it again. But usually I'm trying to find people to ferry all my stuff back to New York because I'm taking a flight.
I fly as well, and I want to at least. I mean, I bring a lot of token orders for people. So when I deliver those orders, then I have my bags that are empty, and that's where I put the VIG swag and any other things that I might purchase. So yeah, I got to be careful how much I buy there as well.
When we used to get fewer dice, every year TSA would stop and they'd open up the things and have to look at these dice because they just see all these little things on the scanner. So every year I pretty much posted a picture of the TSA looking at all these dice that I used to be able to transport in my luggage.
Right. Well, these tokens, they have metal slugs. So I get stopped all the time, and I'm usually wearing this shirt. I'm like, so these are called tokens, as you can see here, and then I also say, well, you're about to see a bunch more of these, coming in. So yeah, get ready. So you, besides doing Gen Con and all of your gaming, etc., you are also involved in WigCon. What is WigCon for the folks who may not have heard about this before?
So here in Westchester County, New York, which is a suburb of New York City, we have Westchester Game Group, which Art and myself co-founded back in the 90s. It's still going, even though Art has long moved away to other parts of the country. That's how I met Art.
Wow.
He made a post to Usenet, if people know what Usenet is or was.
I do.
He posted in Usenet looking for other folks in Westchester who liked the game.
Wow.
And that's how I found Art, how I met him, and we formed this group called Westchester Gaming Group, which is still going strong. At the time we had a couple members, now we have thousands. But anyway, once a year we have this thing called WigCon. In 2009 was our first one. You can see the group there. My buddy who's in the back left there, Elliot, and I still run it, along with the help from a lot of other people. But this was WigCon number 1, and it's at a local park, as you can see there. And this was last year, our 15th WigCon. We missed a couple years with the COVID, but last year, it's still a pretty small con. We have about 300 or so attendees, but it's at a park. We have this big rec hall we run. People game in the pavilion, inside and out. We have this big, huge barbecue that on Saturday every year. It's quite unique. We have a big game auction. And we have a lot of fun every year.
And everybody's invited. So
that's right. Yeah.
So,
every Labor Day weekend, you can go to, I think it's wigcon.org or westchestergaming.org. Either one will bring you to information about WigCon if you're in the New York area.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, don't you mention it periodically in the Fans of Gen Con group? Or
I don't usually ever mention WigCon because it would be off topic.
Yeah,
you
I
might
guess
see it on my personal
That's
post,
what it is.
but
Okay.
I don't usually. If there was an opportunity to mention it, I would. But I certainly don't advertise it or anything because there's all sorts of other gaming groups who want to post to the Gen Con group to advertise, and we don't let them. So I don't want to be too hypocritical.
Yeah.
Try to use the group.
I was thinking that
it.
as I was asking that question, I was like, wait a minute, he wouldn't do that. So it must have been because you and I are friends on Facebook as well. All right, cool. So those are all the topics that I wanted to ask Mr. Alec. If there's any final questions for Alec, please let me know in chat. And this is the point where I would do the drawing. And when I look at the drawing here, we have the people who have entered. Remember, we have 6 free tickets to give away. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
We have 6 people. So the winners of the drawing are. Let's see.
Making it only new players has definitely restricted who could enter.
I think
but
so.
That's great. Everyone's a winner. I love it.
By the way, I don't know if this is going to work in chat. All right, so that did not work. Let me see if I can edit this. All right, so let me remove that. I'm going to try something else. All right, so let me see. So that key didn't work. So let me try. Let's try this one. Nope, that doesn't work either. All right, so this will be. It's going to be lined up like this. I'm putting this here so we can see the in the chat. Okay, so these are the 6 winners. Oh, speaking of that, why don't I pull this up here so Alec can see it as well? AA Magic says we're going to spin the wheel for suspense. All right. So hold on.
You shouldn't have said how many entrants was, and then just picked out the
then I
6.
could have put a bunch of fake names. All right, so let me show you here. So this is this.
Tracy,
okay,
Darren.
All right, so we're going to see who
Alan,
wins here.
Kelsey.
All right, it's going to see who wins. What happened to sound? Oh, can you not hear us?
I don't
Awkward
hear it,
Moon?
but Darren, congratulations. This is wonderful.
Yeah, everybody, did you hear the clapping when that was, did you hear the spinning? Yeah. Oh, okay. So Awkward Moon, that might just be you. Okay, so Darren, Craig, you won? Alan Willis, you won? And I think you get the idea. So everybody else won as well. So those are the spinning. Oh, so you don't hear the clapping? Oh, I guess I hear it. I'm sorry that you guys don't hear that. Not sure.
Congratulations. I'm glad you're going to.
You know why? I think
us.
it's the sound setting of that particular thing. I'll look into that next time. All right, so there we go. If there's any, we'll hear it next time. I'll remember that. Game account says Joseph. Oh yeah, by the way, I did say the requirement was say hello in chat when you won, but there's only 6 of you, so I'll get rid of that rule. And congratulations to those 6. I'm very happy that we had 6 people who are new. Thank you very much for watching the show. I assume this is probably also the first time you've seen the show. And for everyone else, thank you very much. Awkward Moon, Becky Clausen, awesome. So yes, I will email everyone, and everyone is going to play with me and Alec. This is the reminder. It's going to be Saturday, Gen Con, 6 to 8 p.m. But I want to go back to Alec and say, Alec, thank you so much for doing the show. I've been wanting to have you as a guest for a long time. I'm glad we were finally able to make it work. And I'm going to see you. Let's see. So this is the 18th. So that's like a week and a half. We're going to be playing. Well, actually, technically, exactly 2 weeks when we're going to play our game together. 2 weeks from today. And AA Magic says, enjoy the dungeon, Alec, and the 6 winners. Can't make it to Gen Con this year, but we'll say hi the year after that. Oh, sorry you can't make it. So, Alec, any closing thoughts you would like to share with the audience about fans of Gen Con or anything else? Final thoughts for you, sir.
I would just like to apologize in advance to those 6 folks for messing up the adventure and for not saving the villagers. So I apologize for that, but I'm sure you all did you're all going to do wonderfully, but please take this as a pre-apology.
Oh, you're going to be great. My wife is coming as well, and she's the smart one of us too. So you'll be just fine because my wife is playing with us as well. So it's going to be super, super fun. So again, Alec, thank you so much for being on the show. I really do appreciate it. We'll let you go, and I'll see you in a couple weeks, buddy. And thanks again.
Thanks for having me. See you
All
soon.
right. See you, buddy. All right, everybody, that was Alec Usticke, the admin of the Fans of Gen Con Facebook group, an incredible resource for fans of Gen Con. If you're not a member, go to Facebook and research Fans of Gen Con. It's an incredible group. Thank you all very much for watching the show. And if you haven't yet, please do that liking and subscribing to help me spread the love of True Dungeon. I really do appreciate it. And I want to say in closing, I'm a big fan of the phrase, it's very hard to frown when you're smiling, so frown. Wait, take 2.
Take 2.
I'm a big fan of the phrase, it's very hard to frown when you're smiling, so smile. How did I mess that up? Yes, please smile. See you next time.